extraordinary melting pot of cultures. A rich mix of African, European, American, and Asian populations has influenced its dozens of inhabited islands. Today, the Caribbean is coming to terms with its long history of colonization. Many of the islands struggle politically and financially to stay afloat. Tourism has definitely become the region's lifeblood. Year after year, our journey highlights 4 islands that are short plane rides from each other, but worlds apart in character. The easygoing island of Jamaica, the exotic French islands of Guadeloupe and Martinique, and the largest and least commercial island in the Caribbean, Cuba, and its famous city, Havana. Just 90 miles south of Miami, Cuba stretches around 750 miles from east to west. Christopher Columbus first spotted the island in 1492 and declared it the most beautiful land human eyes have ever seen. Fastest-growing vacation destination. The jewel of the island, Havana, home to roughly 1/5 of the country's 11 million people. Situated on a coastal bay in the northwest part of the island, Spanish-built Havana is considered the center of all things Cuban. At one point, it was even the richest city in the Caribbean. But the revolution that began in the 1950s gradually took its toll. One of Cuba's most infamous and corrupt leaders was a ruthless dictator named Josiah Batista. In the face of extreme poverty, his riches and brutal reign eventually alienated even his supporters. Following a 3-year struggle against Batista, Fidel Castro came to power in 1959 and eventually led the country into communism. Castro announced the victory of the revolution in this ornate presidential palace, located in the section of town known as Old Havana, decorated by the famous Tiffany's of New York that now houses the Museum of the Revolution. Castro was joined in his fight by an Argentinian doctor named Che Guevara. When he died for the cause, he became a symbol of liberty for millions. His popularity hasn't diminished over the years.
It's recording.
Artwork that celebrates the revolution can be seen throughout Cuba, taking the effects of this political change. In some ways, life in the average Cuban includes the revolution. Healthcare and education not everything has changed for the better. Over the years, the U.S. embargo of Castro and his communist dictatorship has crippled Cuba's economy, and the absence of American tourists has been felt. Ironically, some believe it was a good thing that the lack of dollar-yielding tourists ultimately preserved Havana's character. One place where time seems frozen is a section of the city known as Old Havana. This square mile of quaint alleys, Spanish colonial palaces, and cobbled streets provides a welcome departure from the city's high-rise hotels. Spanish settlers first arrived here in 1511 and gradually transformed this town into one of the prized jewels of the crown. Today, many of its crumbling buildings are in desperate many years, it was the site of a popular city market. Now, the real owners are the children who have made it their own playground.
I want to go there.
North of the Plaza Vieja is another aptly named square. Here in the Plaza de Armas, one can visit Cuba's oldest surviving fortress, the Castillo de la Fuerza. Dating from the 1500s, its tower carries the symbol of Havana, a woman holding a cross called the Giraldia. Recently excavated cannons now surround the fortress. West of the square is the Paseo de Martí, also known as the Prado. This wide avenue built in the 18th century quickly became the most popular promenade in the city. Along the avenue